people and I tell them the story, but she is actually the beginning of the story.
Everywhere she's gone, she's always been the main person, organizing the community. And that's really her life's work. That's what she's meant to do. That's her calling.
She helps people get their dreams. She helps us, we dream it, but she helps brings it into fruition.
I'm Sandi Romero, or Sandra Romero, but everybody calls me Mama. I grew up in a family of 7 siblings. A lot of responsibility. My mom worked really hard, and so did my stepfather. And I ended up getting pregnant at 14. And you would think that would have just, ended my life or my dreams, crushed my dreams. But it was totally the opposite for me. It was a wake-up call and made me look at my life at such a young age. And I was very lucky to have mentors in school that were guiding me and helping me to say, it's not the end of your life because you're pregnant. Doesn't mean you don't get an education anymore.
Adoption just was not an option for her. Back then, 90% of the girls did give their babies up, but she just said no. Something inside of her told her that she knew that she was having me for a reason. And so she had me and she went home and she lived with her mother. And I remember having a normal childhood.
I went to the welfare department, got on welfare. Being in the welfare system at that age was another eye-opener and another reason I think why I do the kind of work I do, because there's no respect, just thinking you're just a nobody and a nothing and non-achiever, and just no sympathy, nobody with compassion that I met through the system. And it only made me more determined to say I'm going to change this, the way people treat people.
Every community we've lived in from the time ever since I can remember, she was always the main person in the community. I remember when I was 6, she was the president of the Neighborhood Watch, and she was organizing the community then. And I think in one year we were robbed about 9 times, and rocks through our windows because we had a lot of drug dealings on the street. And that didn't stop her. She would still go to their door, befriend their family, and try to clean up the neighborhood.
I just remember going to MacArthur Park for the first time in about 1997, and it was just a no man's land. I remember thinking, where's the police? Why are so many people out here doing drugs and drinking? And the gang members were so visible, and it was just really crazy. We deserve to have our neighborhood be clean and beautiful and safe. We need to push out all this bad stuff that's going on here. We focused on people preparing food at home and selling to people out on the streets. They usually set up on the curbs or in the parks too, or in front of their houses even. So it's the informal economy. And so our job was to get these folks and bring them into the formal economy by helping them get a license, a permit, all the things to be a legitimate business. Once we created the vending district in MacArthur Park, we were cleaning it up, but still that stigma of crime and getting shot, getting mugged, people were not wanting to really come to MacArthur Park to visit. And so Mama's Hot Tamales Cafe was created out of the need to help the vendors. We were always looking, how can we help the vendors even more? And so the restaurant was created to create a safe haven, really. As Mama's Hot Tamales got going and became known, people started coming to me and saying, first of all, what is the vending program? More and more people started coming. They were not street vendors per se, but just entrepreneurs. They were cooking at home and they wanted to learn how to start a business. How can I do this? And so our kitchen became more of a kitchen incubator, and folks can come in to this day and use it to prepare jams and drinks and cookies and chocolates and tamales. We got all kinds of tamale makers coming in. This is, I call it the miracle kitchen, because number one, you can see how tiny it is. It's a very small space. When I first created this program and designed the kitchen, I didn't realize how many people were going to be coming and knocking on our door saying, we need a kitchen. In 1998, there was over 600 arrests made in the park. In 2005, it was 0. We had no arrests related to gangs or drugs.
My business is Jamaican Temptations. It's a family business, and we specialize in Jamaican cuisine. We just got the idea to want to start a restaurant, and we started with going to Mama. She took us through all the legal steps, and she held our hand, and she was really thorough, really nice, really informative about how to get things done. We do farmers markets, music festivals, we do catering events. We're working up until we get our restaurant, so we're basically building a base clientele wherever we can, handing out cards, selling, until we can get our restaurant.
I asked my mother, could I put a label on this old family recipe? And so that was my means to support my family.
I'll never forget the day I met her. I was standing near the door and she was just walking by and she's looking up and she said, what is this sidewalk vending program?
So just a very big unctioning. I walked in and Mama happened to be there, and I call her Mama. Sandi happened to be there, and I asked her, do you think I could use the kitchen? And at that moment, after that one conversation, she welcomed me in. She said I could be a part of their business incubator program. They teach me all the different elements that I need to help me get my certification, and in the meantime, I could use that kitchen at no cost. Amazing. We originally started making the drink. My mom was making it in the kitchen with a blender, so making like 4 drinks at a time.
And so she started making it at Mama's Hot Tamales, and it's called Guerrilla Life. And about 5 years later, she got into Whole Food markets. She's in Gleason's markets. She's in Bristol Farms markets, and now I haven't got to see her new place, but she's got a manufacturing place where she can make it because she outgrew Mama's. Hi, I made it! This is so neat. Oh my God, finally.
Finally.
I'm so proud of you.
Finally.
That is so cool.
How many bottles could come out of there? So we have a 60-gallon tank, a 500-gallon tank, and a 100-gallon tank. So I can make in any size that I want. And then this machine does 2,400 bottles in an hour. Yeah!
Rocio Ramirez is one of the very first street vendors that I worked with in the sidewalk vending program. She became a very dedicated student, and now she's one of my stellar students.
Es muy importante mantener este lugar abierto. Es muy importante para la comunidad, muy importante para las mujeres inmigrantes, para las familias que quieren empezar su propio negocio. Es importante hasta para los jóvenes, porque he tenido programas aquí de probation donde enseño a los jóvenes a cambiar de vida. Solo necesitan amor, necesitan un poco de atención y enseñarles a hacer algo que ellos no conocen. Es la puerta para mucha gente de nuestra comunidad que no tiene otra opción.
There would have been no way that I would have been able to do it without her resources. And it is like the biggest blessing to really be able to see the fruits of your labor. To get to this point is you know, it's what we've done all this hard work for.
Yes, and that's the exciting part, and what I love about my job and what I do is to see people with just a dream or a twinkle in their eye when I meet them, and to be able to see them realize it and make it come true. Last spring, I found a lump in my breast, and so I went to the doctor, and I went through a whole series of biopsies and tests, and I got diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer.
She got a little teary-eyed and she's like, you know, I have cancer, because I knew she was waiting for the results. And like I told my mom, I felt like God come into me because I felt so peaceful. And at that moment, I felt like, okay, my mom doesn't need me crying. I need to be strong for her. And I just turned to her and I said, Mom, you're gonna be okay.
When I got sick or diagnosed with breast cancer, I had asked Rocio to come in and help me.
Sandi es muy fuerte. Y ella dijo, ok, no pasa nada. No, tranquilos, everybody, tranquilos, no pasa nada. Y yo le dije a ella, no, si tú te vas a ir, yo no me quedo aquí, yo también me voy a otro lugar, no sé. Y ella dijo, no, tú te tienes que quedar aquí, tú tienes que continuar todo lo que todo lo que este programa hizo bueno para ti, tú lo tienes que ahora hacer para los demás.
It was like an eye opener. It was like, okay, it's really, if I don't take this as a message to take care of myself and to let go of the cafe, I don't know what's gonna make me see that it's time. So we had actually like a little ceremony of passing the torch in October.
Do whatever, it takes for her to heal, and I always believe that that's a process. And I feel, everything happens for a reason, needing the time to stop and focus on herself.
So I just finished the radiation, and like anything and everything that happens in my life, it's just, I think, to make me stronger. Well, I think a mom, or mama, like in my case I'm mama, is somebody that you can trust, somebody that loves you, and somebody that you can confide in and that will help guide you.
I see that and desire to be that myself. I believe it's something about the nurturing element of mothers, and that it's bigger than just our children. It is about rearing a community and bringing up the nation.
I love her. She's like a second mama, our second mama.
Mama es MacArthur Park. MacArthur Park es Mama's Tamales. It's together all the time.